You a free bottle to put to the test. The debate. $4.95 for shipping and claim your $399-6392. That's 1-800-399-6392.
The Trump administration has been criticized by humanitarian groups and some members of Congress for its support for the Saudi-led coalition fight against the Houthis in Yemen. Secretary of Defense James Mattis.
We've got to move toward a peace effort here, and we can't say we're going to do it sometime in the future.
Officials say it will likely have little impact on the fight, but will allow the Trump administration to say it's taken action against the Saudis for the devastation in Yemen. In Thousand Oaks, California, they're still reeling from a mass shooting at a bar. 12 people died as the shooter, Ian Long, posted on social media. Among Long's victims were college students, veterans, and others who were at borderline for country western dancing on college night. Many inside had already survived one mass shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas 13 months ago. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London. Call the International Travel Department.
That's 800-215.
Barnes reports.
Utah passed out while driving on the highway. Driver suffered some sort of medical problem and began to lose consciousness while driving on Interstate 15 south of Salt Lake City. Trooper Colton Freckleton says the unidentified passenger brought the bus to a stop. About 20 people were on board and nobody was hurt. The bus driver was taken to a hospital. Troopers are investigating whether the driver was impaired. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
A new letter has been discovered that was written by Albert Einstein. USA's Rick Vincent has more.
More than a decade before the Nazis seized power in Germany, Einstein was on the run and already fearful for his country's future, according to the newly revealed letter.
He really speaks about anti-Semitism in Germany, and he forecasts in advance. He's saying there is no future to the Jews in Germany. He says that he's happy that he's independent already from making money from German institutes, and he's free to go away.
The auction house spokesman says Einstein penned the letter to his younger sister in 1922, warning of the dangers of growing nationalism and anti-Semitism years before the Nazis ultimately rose to power. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285 1-800-285
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us On Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
Indeed, we are here. Good Saturday morning to you. Happy weekend. Made it through the week. It is 6 minutes after the hour. Back with myself, Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox. Want to float a phone call to us. You can also reach us right there, John at GardenAmerica.com. Facebook Live, where Tiger, we think we got everything set on Facebook. I know Facebook, it was tough connecting this morning.
It's always a tough, stressful first 3 minutes.
It's not always an indication of what people are seeing. So.
Yeah. So, no, things seem to be running smooth.
Okay, and we are working on improving this technology for us, so hang in there. We're gonna do it until it's done right. John Bagnasco is with us. Hello, John.
Hey, Bryan.
How you doing? They're real formal this morning.
I'm doing well. Our thoughts and prayers are with our listeners up in the Paradise area, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I posted something on Facebook.
Loyal listeners for many years up there, and the town, I guess the main part of the town.
From what we hear. And that is just a shame. And again, like John said, thoughts and prayers, obviously. The Thousand Oaks area, parts of northern Los Angeles, same thing. Just incredible, some of the video and things coming out of those areas. So definitely, if you're up in that area or have any kind of connection and want to float us a phone call or let us know what's happening, we'd appreciate that because, again, like John mentioned, some of these markets up and down California have been with us for many, many years, going on 20 years or so.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I was thinking the other day, it's weird because living in Michigan and growing up in Michigan, you would get this sense about the weather changing and when it was going to rain, you just had this feeling.
You could feel it coming.
You could feel the rain coming. And in California, it's almost the same thing with fire. You know, this time of year, the humidity goes down, the winds pick up, and you can just feel like there's a fire coming somewhere.
You know, on Friday, yesterday in Poway, 9% humidity.
Wow.
9%. That's not, and they say tomorrow and Sunday it's going to get right back to windy Santa Ana conditions.
And it's amazing how easy it happens, meaning I used to live in the East County, out by Alpine, and I used to have a nursery in Alpine. And one day during a Santa Ana event, there was a truck that had a trailer attached to it. And you know how when you have a truck and trailer, this was just like an RV trailer. This wasn't like a commercial truck. They have the chains that connect from the tow hitch to the trailer just in case the hitch ever has any problems, right? Well, sometimes those chains hang low and they'll skip off of the pavement.
I know
when
what you're
they
gonna
skip,
say.
they have sparks, right?
Yep.
One time, I had left my house and I was driving out to Alpine. There were 5 fires that started
because
on
your
the
chain.
Not my chain.
Oh.
One truck.
Wow.
And then finally somebody caught up to it and said, hey, you're starting fires behind you because your chain is clinking and causing sparks.
Yeah, no, I've seen
they
that.
They go right off the side of the road into the dry brush. Boom, little fire.
Right there. Wow.
Yeah. And
I know you hit a rock or something and a little time.
Well, some of and all of a sudden, you know, they land someplace maybe 10 miles from the about the firefighters and the people that are involved in the Garden America today.
Well, if you're in a fire area, you have a lot more concerns than gardening at this moment.
Absolutely.
But if you are in an area that's in California and you're under this dry weather, you really need to take a look at your garden because the winds just dry out everything completely. And with no humidity, I was, usually this time of year you don't have to water as often, but yesterday everything in my yard was completely dry, even though I had watered really good the day before.
It's just that humidity and hot air just dries it right up.
Yeah, and the wind just is wreaks havoc.
And then even when the soil is sometimes damp, they still just wilt because of the dry humidity. You know, it's amazing. So I told you guys about my irrigation test area.
Oh, yeah.
Already, and the rabbits ate.
You couldn't spill the beans entirely last week.
Yeah, but I wanted to give a quick update because we talked about the dry winds. I was excited to – I'm not excited to have a Santa Ana event, but I wanted to truly test this system to see if it would withstand a Santa Ana event. And it is. It's doing great. Everything – all the plants are looking good. But did you know rabbits eat star jasmine?
No.
Yes.
They eat star jasmine.
I didn't think they would.
Star jasmine's got that milky substance.
White, sticky sap. No. They ate it up to the point they could reach.
Huh.
Oh, my gosh. But probably because of dry Santa Ana weather environment, there's no native brush, so they're just eating whatever they think they can survive on, I feel, at this moment in time. It's ridiculous. Rabbits.
That's wascally wabbits.
Exactly.
So can you tell us more about this irrigation system yet, or is it still in the early planning stages?
The company is called RDI. It's responsive drip irrigation, and the theory behind it is that you embed these soaker tubings in your property about 4 inches below the surface of the soil, and for new plantings you would put it near a new plant. For existing plantings you just put it where there are roots. And what happens is initially it secretes water much heavier. So then the plants find this tubing. The roots will grow to the tubing, attach themselves or surround the tubing with a root blanket.
And then the water backs off.
And then the water backs off because it gets clogged up. And then the plant naturally sucks water from this area or from this tubing when it needs it. You always have it pressurized.
So it's designed to get clogged.
Yeah, it's designed to get clogged, and it's designed to run always. So eventually, after 3 to 4 weeks, you should have a clogged pipe that only releases water when the plants want it. And you should be able to, all on one line, you should be able to have tropicals, cactus, vegetables.
And never have to water yourself.
But then
let me ask you a question, though. With the various plants that you say you can attach this to, wouldn't certain plants require different types of watering, or does just a slow soak work for everything?
Well, no, it's not a slow soak. That's the thing, is that the plants are supposed to take water
how
when
much
they need
okay,
it.
all right.
Yeah, so
it's like you and I running a race. You may drink 5 bottles of water.
Exactly.
I may drink 2 when I'm done.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to stop and get water when you need it.
Okay.
And everybody's different, right? And that's the same thing, is
right.
that it stops and gets water when
So
they need it.
succulents would be probably a little bit, and then they could go a long time without it.
Well, that's the thing. I think succulents gorge themselves sometimes, so they might take up more than what you want, because that's the one thing I do tell people.
At first, right? Then
I do tell people, if they want a succulent to grow, water and take care of it. If you want it to just be good, meaning you don't want that agave to get giant,
leave it alone.
Leave it alone, and they'll be fine. So, yeah.
I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
Kind of
so
sounds like new age watering to me.
There's crystals involved. And,
there's all kinds of things.
Pyramids.
Tom Cruise came out.
Yeah, gave it the thumbs up. Yeah. Well, the concept makes sense.
Does this work with hugel culture?
it is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear.
4650 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
You love your car, and so does CarChecks. We're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and have been helping people avoid spending a fortune in costly car repair bills for almost 20 years. For about $2.50 a day, you get the peace of mind in knowing that your expensive repair bills may be covered by a vehicle. Car checks and pay only a standard deductible for about $2.50. Tip-top shape. For a completely free quote, call Car Checks now at 800-958-5207. 800-958-5207. That's 800-958-5207. Or visit getprotected.com. That's getprotected.com.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is Garden America for your Saturday morning. We're right here, 855-424-9825. John at gardenamerica.com. We are streaming live on Biz Talk Radio, locally in San Diego, AM 1240, and later on this afternoon, 2 o'clock, the replay of this show heard on AM 740. I guess that takes care of business?
Yeah.
Let's get to our guest, ready to go.
Yeah, so we have Chelsea Abbott with Davey Tree Care on the line with us, and we're going to be talking about your preparation for winter, fall tree care. We can talk about fire tree care, and just everything else you need to know about trees. Chelsea, good morning.
Hi.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing well.
Chelsea, a little bit nervous to be talking to 5 million people?
Well, I didn't know there was a number on it, but I did, thank you.
Yeah, it's just the three of us. It's all good.
Hey, Chelsea, tell us a little bit about yourself and Davey Tree Care.
Okay, so I am actually Canadian, so it's interesting that you're talking about fire, and I was listening a little bit before I came on the line. That's not something I've ever had to personally deal with. Company, essentially that just means that pathology or diseases and insects and entomology, those tree care and those kind of things as well. It's kind of a generalist job, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're based out of Chicago, right?
I am, yeah.
And so do the general public call you up, or is it more kind of you're the more of a resource for your guys' subsidiaries that are across the nation?
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually, I would call myself like an in-house consultant for the Davey company, so that any, employee of the Davey company could call me and ask for advice. But there are several of me, so it's not just
not just you on the phone all day. Because I was going to say we could give out your personal office line right now over the phone, and you can just get random calls from people across the country saying, "Hey, I have this bug in my tree. What is it?"
Yeah, we won't do that to you.
Funny enough, I get a lot of those from friends and family. So that's
I'm sure. Yeah.
Hey, just a curiosity question: whereabouts from Canada are you from?
I'm from Woodstock, Ontario. It's a small town, kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's like halfway between Detroit and Toronto, if you're familiar with any kind of geography in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So lots of trees where you come from, obviously.
Yeah, I would say more. It's more farmland, but there are some trees there. Yeah, sure.
It's a lot of maple leafs near Toronto, Brian.
Yes, there are a lot of maple leaves, usually blue maple leaves, and then white on the road or white at home. A little hockey reference for you, Chelsea.
Yeah, I understood. I'm actually a Detroit Red Wings fan, though. So.
There you go. Well, John's from Michigan.
From the Leafs.
Oh yeah, my brother's big Red Wings fan.
So from trees to hockey, how about that?
Well, my aunt, now that we mentioned this, used to back in the Gordie Howe days, right?
Absolutely. Ted Lindsay. But back to trees here.
Tiger has no idea what we're even talking about.
I don't even know what sport you guys are referencing right now. So, Chelsea, let's get back to trees.
Yes.
All right. So your specialty is diagnosing issues, bugs, those kinds of things with trees. And as we get into the winter, what are some things people need to consider for their trees across the nation? You know, some people are going into winter where they're going to have winter storms, that the trees are going to freeze, and you're going to have damage due to the winter weather. Other people, like us in California, we have hot, dry winds that blow through our areas right now. And what are some things that people do need to consider during this time of year for their trees?
Well, to sort of address the first part, you talked a little bit about storms and even just winds in general. One of the good ideas is to just get out and just look at your trees. I know it seems very simple, but a lot of people just forget to actually look at their trees.
Yeah.
And if there are any large or even small limbs that maybe look like they are dry and brittle and don't have any foliage on them as the leaves come off and stuff like that, those would be a good idea to, if you can and if you're comfortable, to prune them out yourself. But if you're not, clearly, please call somebody and don't injure yourself. But just kind of cleaning up the canopy to make sure there's no dead wood up in there, so that if a wind did come through, hot or cold, it wouldn't break and fall down and either hurt you or damage some property or something like that. And then kind of, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to continue on with kind of the other setup that you had with the pests and stuff. A lot of the, especially insects, not so much diseases, but generation of just like, let's say, a bug, to not get too scientific, but overwinter on the actual tree. Might be able if you can manually remove them. Some insects are large enough to do that, but if not, to call someone or go to your local store to get some at least.
And when you talk about the bugs in trees, so, some people have trees that are manageable. They can get out there, maybe they're 8 to 12 foot tall trees, and they can more or less see a lot of what's in the canopy. And, if they see ants climbing up the trunk, they can know that there's probably some kind of bug or pest in the tree, because ants have a tendency to harvest those things. But for larger trees, ones that are 30 feet tall, what are some things that people possibly could recognize from the ground that they might need to look for?
Well, that's easy, Tug. You get a drone.
Oh, yeah.
You fly a drone up there, then fly the drone around the tree. I'm kind of being funny, but I mean, that's
probably a smart thing to do.
Might be technically the right thing to do, Chelsea, or what are some other ideas?
Sure, if you had a drone, you could go up and look at it. If that was something that you could use, I've never seen someone do that.
We're going to do it today.
I think with large trees at this point, you're probably not going to see the insect standing up and looking up at a 70-foot tall tree. So if the leaves have already fallen off, with, in Chicago, I'm looking around, there's still a lot of leaves on the trees. This will clearly be different depending on where you are, but you might be able to see some leaf holes or some chewing insects that may have done damage earlier, and those potentially might have gone to overwinter on the tree.
Hey, Chelsea.
Other than that,
hold that thought, because we're going to take a commercial break, and then when we get back, we'll finish up this thought as far as what to look for large trees.
Any tree questions, post them on Facebook or John at GardenAmerica.com or anything else. Garden America taking a break. We're coming right back.
Sometimes business owners and entrepreneurs don't follow a traditional
Yeah.
This is internal. So
it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychecks simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Submit your payroll online, fax it in, or call your dedicated Paychecks payroll specialist. And you're done. Learn more at trypaychecks.com. Come on, do the math. The IRS dishes out 8 million penalties a year. Make one mistake, and you're on the hook. On average, you're losing nearly 1 business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychecks. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days.
Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. That's GreatHealthyWater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Hey, we are back with our final segment. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think we have the audio problem. So that's what's going on.
You know what's funny is that it involved me moving a dial on one of our audio equipment pieces.
Yes.
All I did was move. All I did was touch that dial.
Yeah, there's something loose. There's a connection that's going on here that
Yeah.
is a little flippant. So
I don't even want to look it in the eye.
don't look at anything. So thank you. Hey, did we want to answer? We had a couple of questions,
Yeah.
including John's daughter.
Yeah, Gina had wondered about a tangerine tree setting fruit but not ripening, and if it's a Satsuma mandarin or something along those lines, those don't ripen until late November into December.
Well, rarely will tangerines ripen this early.
Yeah.
There's a few varieties that do, but most
Yeah.
of them are a little later.
Yeah, so
and then also if you've been especially dry, like we haven't had rain in a long time.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not giving the tree the extra water,
trees that they
Right.
like. Got it.
Doesn't need my help. John at GardenAmerica.com, also Facebook Live with your questions and comments. Just spoke with Chelsea, and they learned a lot about trees and some of the tree care. And Tiger, you mentioned here in San Diego, this is a good time right now to plant trees.
Yeah, it's a great time to plant trees the fall. I mean, whether it's an evergreen or, I mean, you could wait on deciduous trees because they are going to go dormant, but people have to realize that even dormant trees, they do grow roots. And so during this time of year, it'd be okay to plant them. They're not going to do anything for you up on top of the surface of the soil, but down below, the roots will begin to grow. They'll get that rainfall, and so that way, hopefully in the spring, they're kind of somewhat established, and then by summer, they're very well established and much more likely to survive a stressful summer if you can
Right.
get established now versus waiting until the spring and trying to get it established only 3 weeks before it turns for the next 8 months.
You know, you mentioned everything that happens underground, and that's John's analogy. He compares what goes on underground to the ocean. You see the ocean, but it's not till you go dive deep into the ocean that you see everything happening. And that's the same way with what you just said. All the biological activity, everything's happening underground much more than really what you would see on the surface sometimes.
Definitely. And you know, along with kind of what's happening across our nation at this moment in time, whether it's that severe cold snap that they're getting up in the Northeast coast, or, you know, here in the West Coast where we have fire and hot winds, and trees are one of those things that I think people look at, and it's an expense. Number one, they kind of think like trees, forests don't have arborists, so therefore why do I need somebody to manage my trees? And then they, you know, look at trees and they go, well, they live in the forest alone and they should be fine, healthy,
Right.
strong.
Yeah.
They don't get bugs. Well, that tree, just as much as it adds value to your property and home, because trees do add value, it also could damage and, you know, cause a lot of harm to your home if not properly taken care of. So we mentioned bugs with Chelsea, and if your tree has bugs, if it's too far gone, you want that tree removed because during a fire, during a storm, it can fall over, it can crack, it can break, and that could cause not just loss of, you know, not just damage to your home or your car, but loss of life sometimes. I mean, you know, here in San Diego County, palm trees that line our streets, and every time that we've even had, and we don't, let's be real, we don't have severe storms in San Diego County, but we do have severe weather to us. And when we have those palm trees sometimes fall down.
Mm-hmm.
They will fall on people
I've seen it,
walking
yeah.
down the street. They will fall on cars as they're driving. And if they're not properly taken care of or managed, then you can't avoid that. It is
Sure.
avoidable.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like my drone idea.
Yeah, I think you got a good idea. You got something working.
You know, where you can't get even a 100-foot tree. That's nothing for a drone. You get up there, you fly it around, slow it down, take a good look at the tree, and now you've got it recorded. And now you can freeze it, you can do whatever when you get the when you upload it or whatever. And I think it's a great idea.
I think you need to get in business with Joe and Jesse, and you could be the drone operator while they go up there and work on the trees.
You know what, exactly. Bring that drone a little closer right here. I think I see something.
Attach some pruners to it.
And you snap pictures? The whole thing. Now, the pruner thing. You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Very George Jetson-y.
Hey, Rochelle gave us a shout-out from Tucson.
Tucson, Arizona, Rochelle.
And
yeah.
I'm going to be in Phoenix in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Which I started to tell you.
Is it over the weekend?
Before we went on air.
This is when Bob's going to come and replace you?
Right.
Now, you're going over there, I would imagine. Whenever John goes someplace, it's to give a talk, right?
No, it's the first time that they're going to have a desert international judging of roses. And they invited me to be on the panel of judges.
Ooh.
So you're not talking, but you're judging.
Right.
I guess you have to be very judgmental, don't you?
And I'm pretty good at that.
That's good. No, that's good. Well, and this is your first time. It's over in Phoenix. But I assume the weather's going to be perfect this time of year in Phoenix.
Should be. That's why they have the judging this time of year.
So these are roses grown in the Phoenix area
right.
that are going to be judged. So
it's a trial garden.
So is this like their peak season for roses, or?
Yeah, fall is peak season
for roses there.
Yeah,
nice.
The growing season in Arizona is like it is in Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Their winter starts in May, and goes from May all the way through first part of October.
And that's why it's so expensive to go to Palm Springs. At that time of the year when it's wintertime, because it's
ideal.
Perfect. I go in the summertime. I don't care. It's hot. But you get a couple $100 off the hotel rooms,
but it's a couple 100 degrees.
Yeah, but you know what? You're going from air conditioned to the pool. You know what? Who cares? Okay, we're going to slowly, I should say, wrap up hour number one here. Facebook Live. We think we've got some of the problems fixed, somewhat audio and the freezing up of the video. So hang in that.
Also, I wanted to
go ahead, John.
Just give a quick shout out to Kathy Ray and hope that Hank is doing well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She was listening and. Two of our favorite people.
Absolutely.
And then Elizabeth, one of the things she just mentioned right now on Facebook is that one of the redeeming things about wildfires is that they bring out a lot of new growth.
Sure.
And that's a good part of it.
Try to derive a positive out of that. Yeah. So we do hope you're doing well. If you have anything you want to pass on to us, if you're up in those areas, we'd love to hear from you. That's going to do it for hour number one here on Garden America, Facebook Live, and of course, via streaming with Biz Talk Radio. The replay of today's show up in Los Angeles and Southern California is going to be heard on AM 740. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Hour two coming up at 6 minutes after. Stay with us.
Listen on the go. Download the Biz Talk Radio app. Available on iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. Biz Talk Radio. The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609. or at biztalkradio.com. This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at BizTalk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. One-on-one talks between President Trump and France's President Macron in the French capital, focusing largely on military cooperation. Macron reiterating Europe needs to be able to defend itself.
We need more European capacities, more European defense in order to take this part of the burden. When President Trump has to protect or to defend one of the states of the United States, he doesn't ask France or Germany or another government of Europe to finance it.
We want to help Europe, but it has to be fair. Right now, the burden sharing has been largely on the United States, as the President will say, and he understands that. And he understands that the United States can only do so much.
Trump in France for a ceremony to help mark 100 years since the end of World War I. The First Lady also in Paris, joining them later at the Palace for a social lunch with Macron and his wife. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Is there a healthy option for weight loss out there? One without stimulants and no dangerous side effects? The answer is yes. That yes is with Calitrin. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
Hey, this was Jack from Pennsylvania, and I've been using Caltrans. In 2003, I was in a bad automobile accident. I had herniated discs, pinched nerves in my neck. I got acute degenerative disc disease. I've got arthritis in my back and arms, and the Caltrans has definitely helped. I used to go to the chiropractor at least once a week, and my other doctors quite often. The Caltrans has definitely helped me, and I definitely recommend it to anybody.
So I got the Caltrans, and I tried it, and was amazed at how well it worked. I lost my stomach. I got into pants that I had not been into in a year and a half. So it's been wonderful.
See, Calotren is proven for weight loss and safety and has been trusted for over 20 years. Check it out at toploss.com, and while you're there, register to win a free 90-day supply. That's toploss.com.
The Camp Fire, which is burning in Butte County in Northern California, has grown to 90,000 acre, claiming at least 9 lives. This man says the fire moves very quickly.
Everything was ignited. By the time I got out of my house, it was like everything was on fire.
It took less than 48 hours for the wildfire to become the most destructive in California history. The town of Paradise, a population of 30,000, is pretty much incinerated. Firefighters basically gave up fighting the flames, rescuing people instead. Paradise is about 180 miles northeast of San Francisco. Paradise is about 180 miles northeast of San Francisco. With control of the House next year, Democrats expected to push President Trump to release his tax returns, something he has yet to do since winning the 2016 election. New York Democrat Bryan is part of the House Ways and Means Committee.
The chair of the House Ways and Means Committee explicitly has the authority through the Internal Revenue Code to request anybody's tax returns, including that of the president.
Trump has said he doesn't want to hand over his tax returns while under audit by the IRS. This is USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290.
Democrats are saying they want to work with Republicans to get things accomplished in 2019. USA's Wendy King has more.
In the Democratic Weekly Address, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy said now that they have control of the House, it's time to work together with Republicans who still maintain control of the Senate.
Congressional Republicans have a choice to make now. Continue down their path of sabotage or work with Democrats to lower healthcare costs and expand access to quality care.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary James Mattis spoke to the press alongside their Chinese counterparts after the 4 officials held a security and diplomatic dialogue meant to prepare their leaders for a meeting at the Group of 20 summit in Argentina later this month. Pompeo reiterated the need for the two nations to work together on several key issues involving North Korea and Iran.
China's cooperation in enforcing those UN Security Council resolutions will help achieve meaningful breakthroughs on this important denuclearization issue. I also expressed our desire to see further cooperation from China in addressing Iran's nuclear and missile programs and other malign activities. We hope to work with the Chinese government and Chinese energy companies in this regard.
Pompeo also urged his Chinese counterparts Friday to halt militarization of the disputed South China Sea, drawing a rebuke from the Chinese for sending U.S. warships close to islands claimed by Beijing. 2 visiting senior Chinese officials also seized the opportunity to warn publicly that a trade war between the world's 2 largest economies would end up hurting both sides. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of the IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-285-4765 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-285-4765. Again, 800-285-4765.
Welcome to the Garden America Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to join us as we talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do with the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 1-855-424-9825. That's 1-855-424-9825 for your questions and comments. Or John at gardenamerica.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can also post your questions and comments right there on our page during the broadcast. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on the Garden America Radio and Media Network.
It is hour number 2, 6 minutes after the hour. Welcome back. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Facebook Live viewers, thank you so much for being there. Biz Talk Radio streaming, John at gardenamerica.com. Questions, comments. Better still on Facebook, as John reached out to Kathy last hour. Kathy says all is well, no fires near them, and Hank is doing well or good as well, John. So thank you, Kathy, for that. And again, you can post your questions, your comments, talk to each other right there on Facebook Live, 855-424-9825. Want to pick up the phone. It is hour 2. Last hour, we talked a lot about trees, and we said this is a good time if you live in areas like San Diego, some of the warmer climates, to be planting trees. And we also heard about some good tree care, things to do, some do's and don'ts last hour from Chelsea.
Yeah.
So thanks for arranging that interview, Tiger.
No problem at all.
Appreciate it.
We have a lot of things in studio to talk about. I'm gonna creep over there by John in a second, but John, tell us about what you brought in today, because I just tried one and it was pretty good.
Yeah, you need to give Bryan one.
All right.
He was afraid to try one. If you're on Facebook, we're holding up, Tiger's holding up something that looks like, if you're thinking of the ornamental plant, the perennial Chinese lantern, except these have a seed in them or a fruit inside them.
Just eat the whole thing?
Just eat the whole thing. How does it taste?
I think I like that.
Yeah. See?
Well, you know what it is? First of all, it's sweet, and then it turns kind of tangy.
Yeah.
That's not bad. You know, it's almost like a little tomato.
Well, really? It is almost like a little tomato, but then I got this sense of coconut.
Coconut?
I like it.
Well, it's a little tropical. The common name is Cape gooseberry, and I think and this is the giant ground cherry. Ground cherries, the family that these are in. I think they call them poha. I was going to check that to make sure that I didn't just make that name up. But I think P-O-H-A. Maybe you can check that for me, Tiger. See if that's true. But anyway, they're pretty good. Because it's the giant form, they're not going to do well. You can grow ground cherries in northern climates, during the summer. But the big form needs a longer growing season. So these are just ripening now, and here it is, the end of October into November where they're ripening.
They're actually very good.
Yeah, we'll
Poha,
more.
P-O-H-A.
P-O-H-A.
P-O-H-A, okay.
Yeah. So Cape gooseberry or giant ground cherry.
They're very good.
Poha. Yeah, look, and you can grow them from seed, which is really nice. I think I'm not mistaken, I think we sold those a couple of years ago.
I think so, too, yeah, because when you brought them in, I said, those look familiar.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what we sold them.
We've got somebody online. Ken is waiting. Ken's at 855-424-9825. Ken, thank you for calling back. Welcome to Saturday. How can we help you?
Yeah, I was calling about some bare-naked ladies that are starting to put out green growth, leaves. Is it too late to transplant them?
It's not too late because we're going into winter, and the temperatures are going to be a lot cooler, but I would not transplant them while we're having Santa Ana's.
Yeah.
And I think the winds are supposed to come up again tomorrow. Is that what you said, Tiger?
Yeah, yeah, but up here where I'm at, it's pretty calm. The wind, there's not a lot of wind.
Where are you calling from, Ken? Where are you?
Merced.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just watch over the next week, though, because it's not always necessarily – some people get confused where it's, I'm calm for the next day or two, but then a week later, that could also be a problem. So you kind of want to wait till we're out of this red flag time of
the
year.
The ideal time
you know?
would have been while they were dormant, but you can still go ahead and do it now.
I have time to wait though. But even though they've started putting out leaves, it's still not too late.
No, it's not too late. They may suffer a little bit, and they may, the leaves might wilt after you transplant them, but the sooner you get those transplanted, the better. So
yeah, they're kind of crowded, and I only got one of them to actually bloom this year, but there's about at least 20, 25 of them there.
Yeah, I would go ahead and do that. I was talking to Bryan earlier of right now, so I've got to get in there and divide those. I should have probably done it 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I neglected to, so I'm going to do it probably weekend.
Would it be a good idea for him to get an extended forecast, Tiger, as far as like the 7-day forecast, as far as things calming down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to be. They're pretty tough plants.
Yeah, they're hardy.
Yeah,
they'll take a beating.
Amaryllis belladonna, which is Latin, is the same thing as Italian and probably Spanish. It means pretty lady.
Yep.
There you go.
Is that good for you, Ken?
All right.
Anything else while we've got you?
Yeah, I've also got. This is a good time to repot my. I have orange trees and like miniature oranges and like blood oranges and lemons and things like that in pots, but there's just not enough soil in there, and they kind of suffered from the drought this year. They didn't get watered enough, and my drip watering system went out on me, so they got a little bit stressed. But they're still growing.
The one thing about repotting citrus this time of year, if in the Merced area you can have some heavy frosts and light freezes.
Gotta be careful.
And if you transplant the citrus and put new soil, you're going to get a lot of new growth, which is going to be very susceptible to freeze damage. So if you do hear on the news that we're going to get cold weather, make sure you cover them with a sheet or
move them under a patio.
Right. String up some Christmas lights in there to keep it a little warm. Not the new LEDs, because those don't give off any heat. Yeah. So that would be the only thing to watch out for. Usually you want to transplant citrus, say, around the beginning of March. But you can do it as long as you watch the new leaves. There's also a product you can get at your local garden center called Wilt-Proof or Cloud Cover. And that will protect the leaves against freeze.
I'm pretty sure I could hold them over until March. That's not really a problem. Okay. And then just transplant them in March.
That would be a better
That's
time
ideal.
To do. Yeah, for citrus.
Yeah, they're because, like I say, they got stressed out, and they looked like they were almost dying, and I've watered them, and they came back. So
yeah, they're hardy.
I'm just going to do the best I can, prune off the other stuff.
Yeah.
The only other thing I got is a cherry tree that I think it's and everything. Is there a product that I can put around the base of it that's a systemic that'll help take care of that? It's a really old tree, though. It might be at the end of its life. It's probably over 30 years old.
Bayer makes a citrus tree drench that is a systemic.
Citrus and fruit tree.
Yeah,
no,
citrus.
This is a cherry tree.
Sorry, citrus and fruit tree drench. So Bayer, I think it's just called citrus and fruit systemic insecticide. So that is a product that you could mix with water and then put down at the base of the tree, and the tree will absorb it.
Yeah, right by the trunk. You actually pour it right at the base of the trunk.
For a cherry, would it absorb a lot in the wintertime, though, John? Would that be something that he wants to wait till?
No, I would do it this time of year.
Yeah?
It would be okay. The other thing you can do, if you want, is if you go get some orange oil and a hypodermic needle, and
this tree's about 2 stories tall.
But all you have to do
it's going to translocate, isn't it?
Well, you just inject it into those holes, and it wicks up. That's what they use to treat termites.
Right.
And you can take
orange oil.
Yeah. You can take a 10-foot 2x4 and dip it in the end of orange oil, and within 10 minutes you can smell it at the other end. So that's another thing to think about.
I use that orange cleaner all the time to, instead of insecticide, I use it to kill wasps and things.
Yep.
Yeah. You know,
It'll take down a wasp nest.
If you look online, we used to recommend a product years ago called Orange TKO.
Orange TKO. It was big around these parts.
Yeah, and if you go to their website, I think it might even give you instructions on how to use it for insects, general insect control. But for it straight, you don't have to mix it or anything, and see what happens.
Hey. All I can do is try. Right now I'm cutting back all the stuff that is obviously dead and not just changing from the fall. So.
Well, Ken, thank you. We're going to take a break. If you have any more questions, be sure to hang on or call us back. We do appreciate that. We talked about.
It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-569-3440. 14.
This is Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
All right, it is 21 minutes after the hour. Lots going on here. 855-424-9825. John at gardenamerica.com. Streaming live here on Biz Talk Radio, the replay of today's show, AM 740. And, of course, Facebook questions and comments as we continue.
You know, I cut back my roses. I'm trying to think now. Probably 5 weeks ago. And they were roses that I had not cut back for 2 years.
You let them go?
Yeah, they were.
Look, when you let roses go, do they look kind of ratty? Or it depends on the species of the rose?
Yeah, these actually looked pretty healthy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, they were full of leaves and tall and blooming, but, you know, the blooms were 10 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
So
10 feet.
Yeah. So anyway,
10-foot rose.
So now it looks just like spring because I cut them all back, you know, so late. They look really good. And, you know, we had the auction a few weeks ago, and I finally got all the roses mailed out to people across the country. I was surprised because there were some people in Minnesota that had won roses that, you know, I offered to hold them till spring. They said, no, ship them right away. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, they must know what they're doing then. They must have a place to put them. Hopefully.
Either that or they have no idea what they're doing.
Right. Did you?
But you would think that since they were at a rose convention, they did have an idea.
And you offered to hold back, and you probably explained why.
Well, they knew why.
Okay.
I mean,
and they know what they're doing.
We had some people in New York that won roses, and I'm holding back roses for them, and I think someone in either Illinois or Indiana. Nope, I take it back. It's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Not that it makes any difference. And I think the last rose that needs to go out is in my car right now, and somebody's going to meet me right after the show.
Well, that's cool.
Get rid of that one. That was Peggy Lee.
The Peggy Lee rose.
Yeah.
Peggy Lee.
So, so far, no complaints. Everybody says the roses arrived in pretty good condition.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So another thing I brought in studio today.
It's very nice.
Some people know them as a Christmas cactus. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to figure out if I can. No, my camera thing isn't working. But
a lot's not working according to our Facebook viewers.
But Christmas cactus, because they just started coming into the nursery now. I thought this was exciting. This one is a Schlumbergera.
I don't think that's Schlumbergera. I think that's zygocactus.
Well, I was going to say, we've talked about this before, that there's two varieties. There's the
what you have is really,
and zygocactus.
Right.
And they bloom at different times.
Zygocactus are Thanksgiving cactus.
Yeah.
That's because everybody always wants to know why are they blooming early.
Well, right.
Because they're not Christmas cactus. Usually you don't see Christmas cactus.
At Christmas.
At any time.
No?
No, that's something that you get from your grandmother. You get a little piece and you start one and you keep it. The way you tell the difference is the leaves. Zygocactus have pointed leaves and Schlumbergera have rounded leaves.
Uh-huh.
And all the new varieties are usually zygocactus.
Zygocactus?
Yeah, all the different colors. I mean, there's even gold now.
Oh, the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we got in white, red, this pinkish one, a purple one. You got to look for the gold one. That's fun. That'd be a good That'd be a good Thanksgiving one, a gold one.
Yeah, because it would kind of match the autumn colors.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And even though it is a true cactus, it is a tropical cactus, kind of epiphytic, so it does require more water than a regular cactus. But, again, really good drainage.
And a lot of people will put these in hanging baskets and keep them, right, or in pots. Yeah. I wonder what it would even look like in the ground in the garden. Does it just flop over?
Well, again, being epiphytic,
it just needs a host, right?
They don't grow in the ground; they grow in trees
and
just hang over trees. So I don't know where you would, if you put it in the ground, it would have to be in an area where perfect drainage and shade. If you put it in the sun, it's not going to do well. It'll just burn up. What was that?
I said, I'm thinking.
So it's funny because we only hear it out of the studio.
I had to clear my throat and turn the mic off, and then you made a comment, and I was agreeing with you. Like, I got lost in thought there. Turn the mic on.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, so you're going to see these begin to hit the market for this time of year, as we get into the fall or into the winter.
There's a tip about those. If you live in a cold area and you have your plant from last year and you have it in the house and you wonder why yours doesn't have buds on it yet, they won't bud up unless they have cool nights, like cymbidiums.
Yeah.
So usually they'll put them in unheated patios until it gets really cold. Nights.
And faces like that, the moth orchid, people keep them inside. Sometimes they have trouble reblooming if their house is real warm. So, if you move it into a cooler area, sometimes that'll help it.
Yeah. Well, cymbidiums for sure. Cymbidiums just are not going to bloom unless they get the cold at night. So lots of flower buds. It looks like there's a flower bud on the end of every single leaf practically.
Yeah, and they should bloom. I mean, if you get them, that's the thing too. Okay, when you go into a store, a garden center, and you see these plants, whether it's a cymbidium, phalaenopsis, the Christmas cactus, the kalanchoes, depending on how you say it, ideally, it's kind of like an avocado. If you're going to use the avocado that day, you want to get a soft avocado.
Yeah,
so you want to get one with full blooms on it, right? Because you're bringing it home for a party or something. That's fine. You bring it home with full that avocado that day. Or if you're just going to bring it home and you're trying to beautify your home with out yet, because it'll last longer for you. I mean, some of those budded form, meaning you just have one or two flowers open, they can last months still blooming in your house because they just kind of slowly open up and you kind of always have these flowers. But if you buy one fully opened,
that's it.
You could be looking at a week or so, and then they all start to fall off.
So that's the trick, getting one that's not fully has come to fruition yet.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the ways that you can extend those flowers, those indoor flowers during this time of year, because you had a neat article about the cornucopia in our newsletter this week, John.
Yeah,
and it's kind of you want to extend your harvest, so you want to extend all this flowering that you have inside, because this is the time of year when people bring flowers inside because there's nothing else happening outside for half of the nation.
A lot of people, right? Except a lot of cold weather and snow.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of that, on Facebook, I posted those pictures that your brother sent, John. Pictures were taken 2 weeks apart.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay. I said 2, but 3 weeks. The first picture, you see a lot of color. Second picture, you see a lot of white. And you can go from there. It is break time once again. John at GardenAmerica.com. Questions, comments, Facebook Live, or pick up the phone. Call us at 855-424-9825 on this Saturday. John Bagnasco, Bryan, Maine, and Tiger Palafox.
Biz Talk News wants to feature your business as part of our Discovery feature, which highlights businesses that are not yet known nationally, but offer products or services that benefit Biz TV viewers. Available in over 40 markets on broadcast TV and online via BizTVClub.com. Biz TV wants to help get the word out about your business. If you're interested in having your business featured on a future episode of Biz Talk Discovery, email us at discovery@biztv.com.
Time changes everything. For me, becoming a single father of 2 young kids, it changed my ability to use my timeshare. The frustration of not being able to use it was compounded by annual maintenance fees that nearly tripled over a 3-year period. I was desperate to get out. After searching online for sell my timeshare or get out of my timeshare, it just looked like one scam after another. I needed a real, permanent, and legitimate way to get out of this for good. I'm Brandon Reed, the founder of Timeshare Exit Team. We will get you out of the timeshare you can't use or can't afford anymore. We get people out safely, legally, and permanently. We are more successful because we have more solutions. Schedule a free consultation to review your ownership situation and find the best strategy for you. If we can't get you out, we will give you a full refund. Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Call 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112. That's 800-929-8112.
Call Timeshare Exit Team today.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right
800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call for attorneys, and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-670-2142. 800-670-2142. That's 800-670-2142.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline is your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 306.
Wave Home Solutions today. Water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to greathealthywater.com. That's greathealthywater.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at biztalkradio.com.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Right back here on Garden America Saturday. Hope your weekend is doing okay so far, or maybe more than okay. To our friends on the East Coast, we say good afternoon as we continue, 35 minutes after the hour, 855-424-9825, John at gardenamerica.com. Here on Biz Talk Radio as we continue to stream and hopefully answer your questions and do what we can. We realize that Facebook's been very iffy today, so thanks for hanging in there. I know
ever since that we
we said how good
stopped
things
stopped our guest and everything else. Things seem to be running pretty smooth.
So last couple of weeks flawless, and this week a few problems, but working on some other technology to make that a little better for you. So we do thank you.
Yeah.
All right, John, what you're looking at? By the way, any email questions at john@gardenamerica.com?
Well, email comments.
Okay.
And this one's a question. Hello, John. Can you ask Bryan if he went to the Tahiti Nui restaurant in Kauai for the famous Mai Tai?
Tahiti Nui. We did not, but we went to a luau, and I had a Mai Tai.
This was from Steve. Steve in Simi Valley wanted to know.
I know of the place, Steve. Heard about it. Did not go, but did have a Mai Tai.
There's not a lot.
Not a lot percolating, is there?
There's not a lot in Kauai compared to the other islands, right? It's more laid back.
But if you know where you're going, you can find these places. But
I haven't been there for 30 years.
It's still laid back, but it's
actually
still
maybe 45 years.
And they've tried to keep the island, pretty much the way it has been, but it's more commercialized.
Kathy sent me a picture. Kathy from Neyland, California. It says, "Does anyone know what these are good for? They're plentiful, but hard, crunchy, and bumpy skin."
Hard, crunchy, bumpy skin.
What is it?
That's what she's asking us, right?
Well, she says they're red nectar pears.
Red nectar pear?
Mm-hmm.
And she's asking if we know what they're good for?
It's like war.
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
I was waiting for somebody to
I know.
Get in there on that. Yeah.
I think, I don't know. She's calling them red nectar pears, and I don't know if red nectar is a variety of pear.
Or prickly pear from a cactus.
No, these are pears here.
Oh, they're actual pears?
Take a look at that picture, yeah.
Oh, they are actual pears.
Right.
Well, I was confused. You said
Well, then let me ask you this. What are they good for?
Yeah.
Well,
pears are good for eating.
Hard, bumpy skin.
Sometimes a pear doesn't look good, but is delicious. Like, I remember it was years before I would ever try a Bosc pear, because you look at a Bartlett, it's got a nice smooth skin, and they're soft, and the Bosc always has that russeting on the skin.
Yeah.
Really, really good. You eat Bosc pears, don't you?
No.
See?
I didn't even know they existed. Is that something you
Do
can
you
get
eat pears?
at a pro?
Do you eat pears?
Yeah, the regular Bartlett, or what is it?
Yeah. Or do you eat red or green ones?
Green ones.
You could have eaten, you ever eat the ones with the brown skin or no?
It's been a while.
That'd be a Bosc.
Would this be something Trader Joe's would sell?
Oh, you get them at any
Oh, so they're common.
Yeah, they're very. That's what I'm saying.
One of the most common, but people don't buy them just because of the way they look.
So are we looking for red skin or brown skin?
No, it's brown.
Brown.
Okay, so brown.
And if you feel it, it feels a little rough on the outside.
Okay.
It's not smooth it doesn't have a smooth soft skin like a
I'll be at the
Bartlett.
store today.
Not like a cat's tongue, but it's rough.
But close.
Yeah, and what you want to do is make sure they're ripe. When they're hard, don't try to.
So how do you know when they're ripe then?
Well, just like a regular pear, you can tell if a Bartlett pear is not ripe. It's just hard.
Too hard as a rock. Okay.
Yeah, but I think you'll be shocked at how good it tastes. It really, really is
Okay.
good.
When's the last time you had one?
This is a trick question.
30 years ago.
No, I used to get them all the time. Not last year and a half, haven't had any.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The taste, that whole taste thing.
Right. But as I remember, you'll really like
And the name again is?
Bosc, B-O-S-C.
Bosc, okay.
Yes. Don't confuse it with Bosco, because that's completely different.
Or Bosch, the equipment. Don't confuse it with that as well.
B-O-S-C-H.
C-H, yeah.
Or Hieronymus Bosch. Do you remember Hieronymus Bosch? He was I think it was a Renaissance painter. Might have been a little bit later than Renaissance. And he would paint the weird paintings where, there'd be a whole scene, but it would be like a stomach opened up and a little ladder going up into the stomach, and people.
Yes, that's him.
That's Hieronymus Bosch.
Hieronymus Bosch.
Right.
No, I have seen those pictures.
Yeah. In the early 70s, remember there were a lot of weird movies that came out in the early 70s, late 60s?
Say like A Clockwork Orange, things
right,
like that?
Those kind of things, yeah.
Okay.
There was a movie called Can Hieronymus Bosch Ever Forget Mercy Hump and Find True Happiness? And
wow, how do you get that on the marquee?
Yeah, you need to only have billboard advertisements for that one.
Right?
And you know, I've never seen that movie on TV.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it either.
Because they can't fit the title in the TV guide.
It was pretty risque for the time. Back then, they were pushing boundaries. Nudity or something.
Frontal nudity in the 70s,
just because they wanted to.
Sure, of course, shock value.
Right. Yeah, I remember the first time the violence came out was in Bonnie and Clyde. Where
67, that movie. Yeah, it was Warren Beatty and
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway, thank you.
Yeah, but the scene where they were killed at the end, it just, people would walk out of the theater and just be stunned.
Right.
I mean, there was total silence.
Yeah.
Because you'd never seen anything like that.
Exactly.
That realistic.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, is that the one where at the end where the car gets all shot up and then that just slowly stops in front of everyone kind of a thing?
And you can go on YouTube and you can see the real footage, the real pictures.
Yeah.
I think a bunch of the sheriffs and the police were standing around the car afterwards. I mean, they unloaded on that car. They unloaded. Definitely. But yeah, that was a good movie. I think it was Academy Award winning movie, or at least some of the actors up for some Oscars.
I don't remember, to be sure. What is Kathy posted a comment that said
they have chickens.
Who has chickens?
Oh, she's talking about Kauai. I'll bet you.
Oh, wild chickens. Yeah, they were everywhere, right?
Oh, they're everywhere. From the city to neighborhoods to the outback. They are everywhere, along with feral cats.
I thought the outback was in Australia.
Well, you know what I mean. You go out into the bush,
back.
into the back, the bush, the back 40.
The bush is Australia also.
I know. Everything's Australia this morning, no matter what I say. But they got feral cats and roosters everywhere.
Oh, wouldn't the cats eat the chickens?
No way.
No, they've got the whole thing worked out. That they've had for
meetings.
Hundreds of years.
There's a hierarchy. They have meetings.
No, there's no mongoose in Kauai, right? They're only in Maui?
See, that I don't know. I don't think there are any snakes on the Hawaiian Islands either.
Well, I thought there was a snake. Wasn't it snakes? Or what did they bring the mongoose in to eat?
And just on that one island, right?
Just on that one island. They brought the mongoose in to control something. But then they found out that one was diurnal and the other was nocturnal, and they never met each other, so it didn't work.
Right.
But the mongoose ended up breeding and spreading themselves all over the island. They're kind of cute. They look a little bit like a weasel or something.
Yeah, a little mongoose.
Yeah.
Did you ever get your your miniature hedgehog?
No. Did you ever get? I think we would.
Month, I didn't tell you. Or my little hedgehog or whatever it is.
I can't take care of any animals right now, not till I move into my new house.
You're like in limbo, aren't you?
Yeah, there's just too much going on. But once we move, I plan on getting a few animals. My son wants to get miniature cows.
No, I've never seen a miniature cow. How miniature are we talking?
Like about the size of maybe a Labrador.
Have you ever seen a miniature cow? No.
Really?
Seriously?
Have you ever seen a purple
cow? Are you sure you're talking about it's not a baby cow?
No, those are called calves.
That's on your leg.
I used to work those out. They're mini cows.
And they give you little mini milk?
Like the little kids' milks they get at the lunch line.
So he wants you to get cows, and you're probably going to get roosters and chickens, aren't you?
The reason I would like to get chickens, the reason I'm thinking against the miniature cows is, and I'll have to research this before we would get any, but I thought I read you had to milk them twice a day.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be, following cows around twice a day.
You've been milking the public for years. What's the difference? We're going to take a break and come back. It's our final segment here on Garden America. I'm Bryan Main. He's John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. streaming live on Biz Talk Radio, and hopefully in your local market, whatever's going on today, we hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much. Our thoughts and prayers to those people in affected areas here in California.
Want a better lawn with less effort? Husqvarna's robotic automower is the effortless way to mow. Husqvarna's intelligent design allows the automower to maneuver around your lawn without supervision, even over tricky terrain and around obstacles. It knows when it needs to be charged and directs itself back to the charging dock. With convenient control options, the Husqvarna allows you to set it and forget it, even from your smartphone. Thanks to Husqvarna, you can have a great-looking lawn and more time to enjoy it this season. Visit Mission Hills Nursery at 1525 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, or go to missionhillsnursery.com for more info. Having bug problems this season? Need an overall solution? Try Natural Guard. Worms, caterpillars, other bugs that plague your garden. It's also safe to use around your fruit and veggies to make sure you enjoy your crop and not those pesky critters. Find Natural Guard spinosad soap in a ready-to-use bottle or ready to spray for those large garden plots at your favorite independent garden center. Go to fertilome.com for more information.
Want more business content? You need BizVod, the place for business videos on demand. With BizVod, you can watch the business videos you want to watch when you want to watch. Search for topics that interest you. Available on Roku and Web TV, and soon on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, iOS, and Android. With BizVod, you don't have to wait for business content. You are in control with hundreds of business shows and clips available on demand. Log on to BizVod today and use promo code RADIO for your first month free. That's right, for a limited time, your first month is free with no obligation. You can cancel anytime. Membership to BizVod is only $49.95 for the year. That's less than $5 a month. Again, the promo code for your first 30 days free is RADIO. BizVod, the place for business videos on demand. Log on to bizvod.com and join today.
As a small business owner, there's one word that you absolutely dread: payroll. For small businesses, it's a big burden. You may think you're saving time and money doing it yourself. But come on, are you? Timesheets, processing checks, calculating taxes, a total waste of your time. Paychex simplifies payroll processing, saving you time and money. Done. Learn more at trypaychex.com. Come on, do the math. On average, you're losing nearly one business day every month doing payroll. That's time and money you'll never get back, unless you get Paychex. More than 500,000 small businesses already do. Call 877-649-5324. Trade payroll pressure for peace of mind. Call now. 877-649-5324. That's 877-649-5324.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-888-989-WAVE or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-888-989-WAVE, 1-888-989-WAVE, or go to GreatHealthyWater.com. That's GreatHealthyWater.com.
Wave Home Solutions.
This is Biz Talk Radio, America's home for business talk. Online at BizTalkRadio.com.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at GardenAmerica.com.
And just like that, we are down to our final segment on this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending upon where you are. Thank you for tuning in. We posted the new podcast, which is up and running. If you have the iHeartRadio app or you have our newsletter, just click the link and that'll take you right to our podcast. And last week we did one on, I forgot already. It was fall planting.
No.
I believe, what was last week? That was 2 weeks ago. Gosh, I just can't. Yeah, but anyway, you know what? If you have the iHeart app or have the newsletter, click the link and you'll see them all there in order. But
it was the was it the zones one last week?
Zones or
planting zones?
Yes, it was. It was zones. Yeah, zones. Okay,
I like that one.
Very good.
John just rolled his eyes.
He rolled his eyes and he was gone.
I like that one.
Well, even Bryan, remember, he's zoned out.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So anyway, that's our podcast, which is one topic, one subject, and we try to dive deep and give you more detail on that.
Hey, our listeners are so smart.
They are.
And Carolyn followed up on our story about the mongooses or mongoose.
Geese, yes. And what did she have to say, John?
In Kauai. And she said they were brought in to control the rats. And since the mongoose are up during the day and the rats are up at night, it didn't work.
Yep.
So now you have both rats and mongoose.
Got to think about the big picture there.
Gosh, right? There's rats everywhere, though. Probably within 100 feet of you or less, wherever you are at any given time.
That was the problem with kiwis and why there's no more kiwis in New Zealand.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us the kiwi story, because I like kiwis.
Well, the rats, ended up, there were no mammals that were native to New Zealand. So when rats infested the island, there were a lot of birds that, since they had no predators, that would lay their eggs on the ground and be on the ground, and a lot of them were flightless, and the rats just decimated them. So now there's a few islands that are rat-free off the coast of New Zealand, and that's where most of the kiwis are.
And they're trying to bring their population back up again, I would imagine.
Right. There's a few, I think there's probably a few spots on the North Island. I don't know about the South Island where they still have them, but, they have to be really protected. They also had a flightless parrot, as I recall. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, they still have it.
Isn't it funny how some creatures, throughout all of evolution, you've got these creatures that have been able to survive and withstand and kind of, go forward in life, right? But then there's creatures like the panda bear or the least tern, and through all their trial, they've never, the snowy plover is a bird here in San Diego County that is protected. It lays its eggs on the beach near
the middle of
near the where the red line comes up.
So where the sand gets wet.
Yeah, well, near it.
Okay.
And so during a storm or high tide, all the eggs get washed away. And like it's
population control.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's those creatures like you're just saying, like the kiwi. It didn't learn to hide its.
It had
eggs.
No reason to.
Well, it had no reason. But eventually, you would think it would be like, I'm gonna hide my eggs.
Would figure it out.
And panda bear. It's just lived in a protected forest forever, and it didn't have a lot of predators and things, so it never learned to kind of fight or anything. And then people, came in, and reason why pandas, I think, are because of people and expansion of civilization.
Just loss of habitat. I would say most extinctions come from loss of habitat.
Loss of habitat, yeah.
Yeah. But then there's these creatures that have just didn't protect themselves or, didn't reproduce more. It's kind of funny.
What's the other bird? Not the kiwi. Dodo. What happened to the dodo bird? There you go. There's one for you. Look at the look on his face.
Dodos were clubbed to death.
Yeah.
They were flightless. And on one of those islands, like the Galapagos, where the animals had no fear of man, and the sailors just, when they arrived on the island, just clubbed them all and ate them.
That's terrible. I'm sorry I brought that up.
They might have done it for fun, too.
Yeah. It was a dodo-looking thing. And
yeah.
That's terrible.
When the dodo was first discovered, too, it was brought back to England, I guess, and people thought that it wasn't real, that somebody had just,
taxidermied two things together.
Right.
What else do you know about New Zealand?
Well, the largest bird in the world was the moa, which was, I think, like double the size of an ostrich.
Also flightless, I believe?
Also flightless.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And why would you need to fly if you're that big? Mm-hmm. And they're extinct now. I think I don't know if they know for sure whether the Maoris were involved in their extinction or they were actually extinct before the Maoris. Hard to say. But they have found caves in New Zealand with the
remains
of the moa.
The moa.
The moa.
They're extinct, so there ain't no moa. Ain't no moa.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry, folks. Only a couple of minutes to go here. And then train into the station.
You're going to take some of these Cape gooseberries to Dana and let her try one?
Yeah, you know what? I think I will. They're good enough.
Yeah.
When you look at that,
I'm happy I brought you something that you deem good enough.
Well, you know what the thing is, you look at that and you think, what? If you didn't know there was something inside it,
it's a little surprise.
It's a little Easter egg, is what it is. A little surprise, yes.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think to tear that open, and it does look like one of those lanterns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the florists sell those, right, for dried arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see those sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I also saw I guess it's because of the time of the year, but I think it was in Albertsons. They've got the cut flower department, and they had those little mini pumpkins. And people don't realize those are eggplant, but they look just like little miniature pumpkins on a stick.
And they're on a stick, too, so it's kind of cool that they hang that way. And even on the one stick, you'll have an orange and yellowish one, and it kind of gives you cool colors. Yeah, those are fun.
I was trying to think of, what do I have at home? Oh, I noticed that our friend Becky from France had joined the Facebook, and she sent us a rose that was supposed to be, it was, I guess, found in China. It was called 5 yuan, and yuan is the currency from China, right? So it'd be like 5 cents or $5 or something. Right. And it's a rose that I don't know what's happened to the one that she sent us, because it's nothing like what it's supposed to look like. It's a single flowering, but it opens up a pink and then changes to a dark red.
Wow.
It's really unique. Or vice versa. I can't remember how that goes, but I'll send you guys some pictures.
That is going to do it. Thank you so much. Those that hung in there on Facebook, we finally got that situated, organized. All the good folks at Biz Talk Radio. Have yourself a great rest of the day, rest of the weekend. And again, thoughts and prayers to those people in California, those affected fire areas.
And
Bryan,
veterans.
You betcha. Veterans, too, for Veterans Day tomorrow. Thank you so much. See you next week.